He said, today, in these times of uncertainty, in these times of instability, let us not waste our lives thinking only of ourselves, indifferent to others or deluding others into thinking peace and security. Hey, what's up, everybody? I am your host, Daniel Barron, and welcome to God First with DM. If you haven't already noticed, Michael's not with us today. So, if you guys haven't paid attention to the news, I just want to quickly share with you guys the new guidelines in California that are taking place. Outdoor gatherings are going to be limited to a maximum of 15 people per house, per 3 households actually. 50% capacity limit will be imposed on restaurants with outdoor services. And beauty care businesses, their capacity is going to be lowered to 25%. Also, all like nail salons and that kind of stuff with personal care, they're requiring people to make an appointment beforehand. And restaurants, breweries, wineries, bars, and other non-essential retail establishments must be closed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I believe all of these are going to be kind of taken into place Friday in LA County. So how does this really tie to what we have today to talk about? In Pope Francis's homily this Sunday that just passed at the time of recording this video, he talked a little bit about as a Christian, what are we supposed to be doing during this time, and how is really our response to this virus, right? He said, today, in these times of uncertainty, in these times of instability, let us not waste our lives thinking only of ourselves, indifferent to others or deluding others into thinking peace and security. How many of us during the beginning of the pandemic really were only focused on ourselves? And we can see that when we went to Target, we went to Walmart, and we passed through the aisle of let's say toilet paper and stuff, where we couldn't find any sort of toilet paper because I guess we were all kind of focused on ourselves instead of in our fellow community and stuff. So really, in these times of uncertainty, like the Pope says, how many of us are just focusing on ourselves and not on others? That's not the Catholic way of being. It's focusing on others as well, regardless also of your view of the pandemic or not. Whether if you think it's all a hoax or if you're really scared of it, we need to do our part and see others as the person they are, which is our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. The Pope went on to say that he kind of shared the parable of the parable of talents that Jesus talked about in the gospel, in which describes a rich man that he entrusts his property with 3 of his servants. And what happens with these servants? Well, 2 of them actually doubled the amount entrusted to them, while the 3rd servant hid his sum of property because he wanted to avoid risk and to keep it safe from thieves. God has blessed each one of us with many gifts, with many talents. How many of us during this time of uncertainty, like the Pope says, are hiding away and not sharing it with others? Now, you can share it in different ways and be as creative as you can be. But let's not hide away and spread the gospel of the Lord during this time. This is, I guess, a time to be creative, right? We thought this pandemic was going to be over months ago in the summer, and now we're going into the winter. So we don't know how long this pandemic is going to be. So the gifts you have, the gifts and talents that God has given you, don't put them away. Don't shelter them. Share them with others. Like how Pope Francis said, there is no faithfulness without risk. Good servants are those who take risk. And if you want to be a good servant of the Lord, then we need to take risks too. And this is very exclusive to you and your conditions and you, the people that you live with. But let's take risks. Let's put ourselves out there. I mean, for Duc In Altum, this was a risk for us. Starting up a YouTube channel and posting videos weekly, that was a risk. But we had to adopt to the times of uncertainty and share the gospel in a different way. And you in your homes, you teens, use the social media, use whatever God has given you to share that good news. Pope Francis said, "There is no faithfulness without risk," like I said, because letting our carefully laid plans be disrupted by our own need to serve. So really, God has called us to serve others. And just because there's a pandemic doesn't mean we don't serve anybody. It might be a little different based on your needs. But just as God has blessed us with so many gifts, we need to share those with others. We can't be greedy during this time. People need us. The Catholic Church needs us. Our priests need us. And let's not forget that, everybody, especially during these holidays that are approaching. Thanksgiving's around the corner and Christmas is next month. What are we going to do in our communities? What are we going to do to our families? What are we going to do in our small communities to share the gospel? And I want to leave you guys with that and with what Pope Francis says. If we have faith in God, if we love in God, if we put our trust in Jesus Christ, then we shouldn't fear anything, even this pandemic. Take the precautions necessary, but let's not be cowards. Our faith, our believing in Christ doesn't lead us to cowardness. Instead, we should embrace the cross and take up our cross and take that cross to battle. Take the cross wherever we may go, because the good Lord will protect us. And I want to leave you guys with that, with that powerful message that Pope Francis shared with us. If you have any questions, please put them down in the description, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.